Hey everyone. Over the many years I've spent working in this field, I've come across so many older adults who all deal with the same problem. Lower back pain, stiff hips, and that constant struggle when they need to bend over during normal everyday activities. If you're watching this right now, chances are you've been through those same familiar moments yourself. Waking up in the morning with a heavy, achy back, having to take a second before you stand up after sitting for a while, or feeling way less flexible than you used to when you bend down to grab something off the floor. A lot of people just figure this is a normal part of getting older. But honestly, most of these issues can be seriously improved or even completely fixed if you understand what's actually causing them and train the right way. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a really practical, easy to follow approach. I'm not just going to show you exercises that help ease lower back pain and improve flexibility. I'm also going to talk about the foods you should be adding to your diet and the ones you should cut back on so you can get the best results possible. Before we dive in, I want you to do a quick check-in with your own body. Think about it. Do you often have a hard time bending down to tie your shoes? Do you sometimes feel stiff in your lower back when you get up after sitting for a long stretch of time? Or maybe when you wake up in the morning and roll over, your lower back feels a little sore or heavy. If any of that sounds like you, it's a pretty clear sign that your body is missing mobility, especially in your hips and the backs of your thighs. Or if you're noticing some other symptoms but you're not quite sure what's going on, just drop them in the comments below. I read every single one and I'll do my best to help you figure it out. Now go ahead and stand up with me and try a really simple movement. Stand up straight with your feet about shoulder width apart. Then slowly bend forward like you're reaching down to pick something up off the floor. You don't have to go all the way down, just bend as far as feels comfortable. While you're doing that, pay attention. Do you feel tightness in the backs of your thighs? Does your lower back feel uncomfortable? Or do you have to stop halfway? If the answer is yes and you're thinking, yep, that's totally me, then you've just figured out the core issue. The problem isn't only in your back. The truth is, most of it actually comes from tight hamstrings and hips that have lost their mobility. When your hips aren't moving the way they should, your body makes up for it by putting way more work on your lower back every time you bend. Over time, all that extra strain leads to pain. That's also why rubbing it out, getting a massage, or taking pain medication only gives you temporary relief. It doesn't actually fix the real root cause. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 carefully selected exercises. They're all really simple. They don't need any special equipment and they go straight after the actual cause of your lower back pain. The first one is a hip rotation move. It helps make your hip joints more mobile and less stiff, which takes a lot of pressure off your lower back. The second is a supported hip hinge using a chair. It's a safe way to relearn how to bend correctly with a steady support, so you don't have to worry about losing your balance. The third is a standing hamstring stretch. Once those muscles along the backs of your thighs loosen up, you'll find that bending becomes a whole lot easier and your back starts to feel lighter. And the last one is a functional bend and reach that you can actually use in your daily life. It teaches your body to coordinate your hips, back, and arms naturally, so you can apply it straight into your everyday routine. To break it down simply from a scientific standpoint, our bodies work like one connected chain. When one part gets tight, like your hips or your hamstrings, another part, in this case your lower back, has to pick up the slack and work overtime. These exercises help unlock those tight areas, which takes the load off your back and lets you move around more freely. On top of the exercises, I also want you to pay attention to what you're eating. If you want to support your joints and bones, start adding things like fatty fish, dark leafy greens, milk, eggs, and tofu to your meals. At the same time, try to cut back on fried foods, sugary drinks, and anything that's really sweet or super salty, because those things can actually make inflammation and back pain worse. Everything I'm sharing with you today has one straightforward goal, and that's to help you reduce pain, move more easily, and feel more confident going through your daily life. Here is the rephrased second part. All right, now let's jump right into the first exercise. Stand up straight with your feet shoulder width apart. If you feel a little unsteady, you can stand next to a chair or lightly rest your hand on a wall for balance. And this one is the hip rotation exercise. It's a very simple move, but it's incredibly important. Slowly lift one foot just slightly off the floor. You don't need to raise it high, just enough so it's not touching the ground. Then start making circles with your knee. Picture yourself drawing a circle in the air with your knee. When you first start, keep the circle small. You don't need to go big right out of the gate. The key here isn't about how wide the range of motion is. It's about control. Move slowly and smoothly and keep your upper body steady. Don't lean to the side to follow the movement. When you do it correctly, you'll start to feel your hip area warming up, and the joint will begin to feel smoother and less stiff than it did before. Do about 8 to 10 circles in one direction, then switch and go the other way. After that, switch over to the other leg and repeat the whole thing. This exercise has a very clear mechanical benefit. Your hip joint works like a big hinge for your entire body. When that hinge gets stiff, every single bending movement puts extra force on your lower back. By rotating the hip regularly like this, you're naturally lubricating the joint, improving blood flow, and increasing your range of motion. Once your hips get more mobile, your lower back gets a huge break. You can actually test it right after you finish. Try bending forward again. A lot of people notice that the movement already feels a little lighter and doesn't catch or feel stuck the way it did at the beginning. Now that we've woken up the hip joints, let's move into the second exercise, which is really important for relearning how to bend the right way. This is the supported hip hinge using a chair. Stand behind a chair and place both hands lightly on the back of it for support. Keep your feet shoulder width apart. Slowly push your hips back like you're about to sit down, but don't actually sit. Keep your back straight, no rounding at all. You'll feel your upper body tilt slightly forward, but your spine stays in a neutral position, and you should feel a gentle stretch along the backs of your thighs. That's exactly what we're going for. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds, then slowly stand back up. Repeat the movement about 8 to 10 times. The whole point of this exercise is to teach your body to remember how to hinge from the hips instead of rounding from the lower back. When you push your hips back and keep your spine straight, the load gets spread through your hips and legs instead of dumping everything onto your lower back. From a scientific standpoint, this is called the hip hinge mechanism. It's your hip joint doing exactly what it's supposed to do. When you get it right, the pressure on your spine drops dramatically and your risk of back pain goes down right along with it. Once you get comfortable with this movement pattern, simple, everyday tasks like picking things up, lifting light objects, or even just sitting down and standing back up become much easier and a whole lot safer. Take your time, move slowly, and always stay in control. If you feel dizzy or any kind of sharp pain, go ahead and stop and rest. After finishing those first 2 exercises, your body should already be starting to open up and feel ready for the next steps. Now let's move into the third exercise, the standing hamstring stretch. Stand up tall and lightly. Hold on to a chair or wall for balance if you need to. Step 1 foot forward with your heel resting on the floor and your toes pointing up toward the ceiling. Keep the other leg steady behind you. Slowly push your hips back and lean your torso slightly forward, but keep your back straight the whole time, no rounding. You should start to feel a gentle stretch running along the back of the thigh on your front leg. Hold that position for 10 to 15 seconds and keep breathing steadily the whole time. Don't hold your breath. And slowly come back up to standing and switch legs. Do each side 2 to 3 times. This is one of those really important stretches that a lot of people skip right over. Like I mentioned earlier, tight hamstrings pull on your pelvis and directly affect your lower back. When you lengthen that muscle group, you're releasing that tension on your spine. Put simply, once the hamstrings loosen up, your back isn't being pulled downward anymore, and the stiffness and pain start to ease up. A lot of people notice a really significant improvement in how easily they can bend forward after doing this stretch consistently over time. Now that we've worked on that key muscle group, we're ready for the final exercise, and this one carries over directly into real daily life. This is the functional bend and reach. Stand tall with your feet shoulder width apart. Place a light object on the floor in front of you. Something like a water bottle works perfectly. Slowly push your hips back, keeping your back straight, just like you did in the second exercise. Then bend down and reach to touch the object. Once you touch it, use your legs and hips to push yourself back up to standing. The important thing here is controlling the movement the whole way through. Hips go back first, spine stays straight, then you lower down. Repeat the movement about 8 to 10 times, nice and controlled. This exercise trains your body to coordinate multiple muscle groups all working together at the same time. Your hips, thighs, back, and arms. These are exactly the same movements you use every single day. Things like picking stuff up off the floor, lifting light objects, or reaching for something. From a scientific standpoint, it actually reprograms the way you move. Instead of overloading your lower back, your body learns to rely on the right muscles, mainly your hips and legs, which takes the pressure off your spine. If you practice this regularly, you'll find that those little everyday tasks become much easier, and most importantly, a whole lot safer. And there you have it. You just finished 4 simple but highly effective exercises for improving lower back pain and stiff hips. You don't need to do a huge number of reps. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day is plenty to start seeing real changes. The most important thing isn't how hard you push yourself. It's doing it correctly and sticking with it consistently. When you pair these exercises with the smart eating habits I mentioned earlier, your body will gradually recover, get more flexible, and naturally reduce pain over time. Be patient, listen to your body, and start with small steps. The improvement will come faster than you might expect. Now, there's one really important thing that a whole lot of people overlook, and that's nutrition. If you only focus on exercise and ignore what you're eating, your results just won't be as good. But when you combine the right training with smart food choices, your body recovers faster, your joints get more mobile, and the pain goes down noticeably. So let me share some specific foods you should start working into your routine. First up is fatty fish, and especially salmon. Salmon is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. Those are the healthy fats that help bring down inflammation throughout your body. When your joints have some inflammation or stiffness going on, omega-3s help calm things down so you can move around more comfortably. Eating salmon 2 to 3 times a week can make your whole body feel lighter and less stiff, especially first thing in the morning. Next up is spinach and other dark leafy greens. These vegetables are packed with calcium and magnesium, 2 minerals that are absolutely essential for your bones and muscles. Calcium keeps your bones strong, while magnesium helps your muscles work smoothly and cuts down on cramping and tightness. When your muscles and bones are working together the way they should, movements like bending down or standing back up feel so much easier. The third food is milk. It delivers a solid dose of calcium and is often fortified with vitamin D, which helps your body absorb that calcium more effectively. Drinking milk regularly strengthens your bones, lowers your risk of osteoporosis, and reduces back pain and the risk of injury when you move around. Next are eggs. Eggs are a great source of protein that helps maintain and repair your muscle tissue. When you have enough muscle, especially around your hips and back, your body has better support overall, which takes pressure off your spine. Eggs also naturally contain vitamin D, which supports bone health as well. And finally, there's tofu. It's a gentle plant-based protein that works especially well for older adults. Tofu also provides calcium to help keep your bones strong. Eating it regularly gives you protein and joint support without being tough on your digestion. To keep it simple, you don't need to overthink this. Just remember one straightforward rule: add fish, leafy greens, milk, eggs, and tofu to your meals on a regular basis. When your body is getting the right nutrients and you're pairing that with the right exercises, you're going to see real improvement. Less back pain, more flexible joints, and movements like bending or standing up are going to feel so much lighter and easier. Now let me talk about the foods you should cut back on, because certain things can actually make your back pain and joint inflammation worse if you're not careful. The first one is fried foods, things like fried chicken or French fries. These are loaded with unhealthy oils and fats. Once they get into your body, they can trigger more inflammation, which makes your joints, especially in your lower back and hips, feel even tighter and more uncomfortable. If you're already dealing with back pain and you're still eating a lot of fried food regularly, your progress is going to be a lot slower. Next is sugary soda. It might be a common habit, but it's really bad for your bones. Soda can actually reduce your body's ability to absorb calcium, and over time it pulls calcium right out of your bones, leaving them weaker, more painful, and at a higher risk for osteoporosis. The third category is sweets, things like candy, cakes, and cookies. The high sugar content doesn't just affect your weight, it also ramps up inflammation all throughout your body. And extra weight puts even more pressure on your spine and hips, which makes back pain worse. Another group to watch out for is processed meats like sausages, bacon, and deli meats. These usually have a ton of salt and preservatives in them. Eating too much of this stuff can increase inflammation and negatively affect your bone and joint health. And finally, foods that are really high in salt, things like instant noodles or pickled items. When you eat too much salt, your body flushes out extra calcium through your urine. Over time, that weakens your bones and cancels out some of the benefit you're getting from the calcium-rich foods you're trying to eat. You don't have to cut all of these things out completely, but you should try to limit them as much as you can and enjoy them only every once in a while. The key is building balanced eating habits. Focus on the good stuff and gradually pull back on the things that are working against you. When you bring all three of these things together, the right exercises, smart nutrition, and consistency, you're going to see real dramatic changes in your body. Your back pain will start to fade, your joints will get more mobile, and you'll feel so much more confident with every single movement you make. Start small, stay consistent, and the results will follow. Now, in addition to the exercises and the diet, I also want to share a few small but really effective tips that will help protect your back and hips in everyday life. Whenever you bend down to pick something up, always remember this simple rule. Push your hips back, keep your back straight, and don't suddenly round your spine. If the object is really low to the ground, bend your knees a little instead of forcing the bend from your back. When you're sitting, try to sit up tall with a neutral spine and both feet flat on the floor. If you have to sit for a long period of time, make a point to stand up and walk around gently or do a light twist every 30 to 45 minutes to keep your back from getting stiff. When it comes to sleeping, try to choose a mattress that isn't too soft. A medium firm mattress helps your spine maintain its natural curve, which reduces pressure on your lower back through the night. And one more really important reminder, don't wait until the pain gets bad before you start taking action. Our bodies respond best when we take care of them early and keep at it consistently. While you're working through these exercises, you can easily track your own progress with a few simple signs. You'll start to notice that you can bend down more easily than you could just a few days ago without that catching or hesitating feeling. When you stand up after sitting, your back won't feel nearly as stiff. And when you wake up in the morning, your back will feel lighter and rolling over will feel more comfortable. Those are all really great signs that your body is adapting and healing the right way. At the same time, always listen to what your body is telling you. If you feel any sharp pain, a sudden increase in discomfort, or dizziness while doing the exercises, stop and rest. Doing it right matters, but your safety always comes first. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and share it with your family or friends, especially anyone else who's been dealing with back pain like you. Sometimes just a few small but correct changes can make a huge difference in your quality of life. You can also leave a comment below letting me know how you're feeling or sharing any challenges you run into while doing the exercises. I'll do my best to read through them and cover them in future videos. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I truly wish you continued good health, easy movement, and freedom from lower back pain in your everyday life.